Hi, how are you? It's been a while. It's Black History Month, so let's read some selected poems by Gwendolyn Brooks. Sorry, I have the rental thing because this is actually for my African American Lit class, but I figured what better time to make a comeback than Black History Month when I have a book full of poems by someone who is considered the finest black poet of the post-Harlem generation. Let's do it. A street in Bronzeville to David and Keziah Brooks. Kitchenette building. Weird things of dry hours in the involuntary plan. Grayed in and gray. Dream makes a giddy sound. Not strong like rent, feeding a wife, satisfying a man. But could a dream send up through onion fumes, its white and violet, fight with fried potatoes and yesterday's garbage ripening in the hall, flutter or sing an aria down these rooms? Even if we were willing to let it in, had time to warm it, keep it very clean, anticipate a message, let it begin? We wonder, but not well, not for a minute. Since number 5 is out of the bathroom now, we think of the lukewarm water, hope to get it in. The mother. Abortions will not let you forget. You remember the children you got that you did not get. The damp, small pulps, with a little or with no hair. The singers and workers that never handled the air. You will never neglect or beat them or silence or buy with the sweet. You will never wind up the sucking thumb or scuttle out ghosts that come. You will never leave them, controlling your luscious sigh. Return for a snack of them with a gobbling mother eye. I have heard the voices of the wind, the voices of my dim, killed children. I have contracted, I have eased. My dim dears at the breast they could never suck. I have said, sweets, if I sinned, if I seized your luck, and your lives from your unfinished reach, if I stole your births and your names, your straight baby tears and your games, your stilted or lovely loves, your tumults, your marriages, aches, and your deaths. If I poisoned the beginnings of your breaths, believe that even in my deliberateness, I was not deliberate. Though why should I whine? Whine that the crime was other than mine, since anyhow you are dead, or rather, or instead, you were never made. That too, I was afraid, is faulty. Or what shall I say? How is the truth to be said? You were born, you had body, you died. It is just that you never giggled, or planned, or cried. Believe me, I love you all. Believe me, I knew you, though faintly, and I loved you all. Southeast corner. The School of Beauty's a tavern now. The madam is underground. Out of Lincoln, among the graves, her own is early found. Where the thicket, tall as monument, cuts grandly into the air, the madam lies contently. Her fortune too lies there, converted into cool hard steel and bright red velvet lining. All over her tan impassivity, shot silk is shining. Hunchback girl thinks of heaven. My father, it is surely a blue place, and straight, right, regular, where I shall find no need for scholarly nonchalance or looks. A little to the left, her guards upon the heart do halt love, where one runs without crookedness along its crooked corridors. My father, it is a planned place surely, out of coils, unscrewed, released, no more to be marvelous. I shall walk straightly through most proper halls, proper myself, princess of properness. A song in the front yard. I've stayed in the front yard all my life. I want to peek at the back, where it's rough and untended and hungry weed grows. A girl gets sick of a rose. I want to go in the backyard now, and maybe down the alley to where the charity children play. I want a good time today. They do some wonderful things. They have some wonderful fun. My mother sneers, but I say it's fine. How they don't have to go in at 8:45. My mother, she tells me that Johnny May will grow up to be a bad woman. That George will be taken to jail sooner or late on account of last winter he sold our back gate. But I say it's fine. Honest, I do. And I'd like to be a bad woman too. And wear the brave stockings of night black lace and strut down the streets with paint on my face. The Ballad of Chocolate Maybe. It was maybe without the grammar school gates, and maybe was all of 7, and maybe was cut from a chocolate bar, and maybe thought life was heaven. The grammar school gates were the pearly gates, for Willie Boone went to school. When she sat by him in history class, was only her eyes were cool. It was maybe without the grammar school gates, waiting for Willie Boone. Half-hour after the closing bell, he would surely be coming soon. Oh, warm is waiting for joys, my dears, and it cannot be too long. Oh, pity the poor little chocolate lips that carry the bubble of song. Out came the saucily bold Willie Boone. It was woe for our maybe now. He wore like a jewel a lemon-hued lynx with sand waves loving her brow. It was maybe alone by the grammar school gates, yet chocolate companions had she. Maybe on maybe with hush in the heart, maybe on maybe to be. Just skip a page. No, we're good. The preacher ruminates behind the sermon. I think it must be lonely to be God. Nobody loves a master. No. Despite the bright hosannas, bright dear lords, and bright determined reverence of Sunday eyes. Picture Jehovah striding through the hall of his importance, creatures running out from servant corners to acclaim, to shout, appreciation of his merits glare. But who walks with him, dares to take his arm, to slap him on the shoulder, tweak his ear, buy him a Coca-Cola or a beer, poo-poo his politics, call him a fool. Perhaps, who knows, he tires of looking down. Those eyes are never lifted, never straight. Perhaps sometimes he tires of being great, in solitude, without a hand to hold. Sadie and Maud. Maud went to college, Sadie stayed at home. Sadie scraped life with a fine tooth comb. She didn't leave a tangle in, her comb found every strand. Sadie was one of the livingest chits in all the land. Sadie bore 2 babies under her maiden name. Maud and Ma and Pa nearly died of shame. When Sadie said her last so long, her girls struck out from home. Sadie had left a heritage, her fine tooth comb. Maud, who went to college, is a brown thin mouse. She's living all alone in this old house. The Independent Man. Now, who could take you off to tiny life in 1 room or in 2 rooms or in 3, and cork you smartly like the flask of wine you are? Not any woman, not a wife. You let her twirl you, give her a good glee, showing your leaping ruby to a friend, though twirling would be meek, since not a cork could you allow for being made so free. A woman would be wise to think it well, if once a week you only rang the bell. Of DeWitt Williams on his way to Lincoln Cemetery. He was born in Alabama. He was bred in Illinois. He was nothing but a plain black boy. Swing low, sweet, sweet chariot. Nothing but a plain black boy. Drive him past the pool hall, drive him past the show, blind within his casket, but maybe he will know. Down through 47th Street, underneath the L, and northeast corner, prairie that he loves so well. Don't forget the dance halls, Warwick and Sadie. where he picked his women, where he drank his liquid joy. Born in Alabama, bred in Illinois, he was nothing but a plain black boy. Swing low, sweet, sweet chariot, nothing but a plain black boy. The vacant lot. Mrs. Cooley's 3-flat brick isn't here anymore. All done with seeing her fat little form burst out of the basement door, and with seeing her African son-in-law, rightful heir to the throne, with his great, white, strong, cold squares of teeth and his little eyes of stone. And with seeing the squat, fat daughter letting in the men, when Majesty has gone for the day and letting them out again. That was A Street in Bronzeville. Let's go here. This is Gay Chaps at a Bar. Gay chaps at the bar. And guys I knew in the States, young officers returned from the front crying and trembling. Gay chaps at the bar in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. Lieutenant William Couch in the South Pacific. We knew how to order just the dash necessary, the length of gaiety and good taste. Whether the raillery should be slightly iced and given green or served up hot and lush. And we knew beautifully how to give to women the summer spread, the tropics of our love. Can't read tonight. When to persist or hold a hunger off, new white speech, how to make a look on an omen. But nothing ever taught us to be islands, and smart athletic language for this hour was not in the curriculum. No stout lesson showed how to chat with death. We brought no brass fortissimo among our talents to holler down the lines in this air. Still do I keep my look, my identity. Each body has its art, its precious prescribed pose, that even impassioned stroll, contortions, waltzes, or push of pain, or when a grief has stabbed, or hatred hacked, is its and nothing else's. Each body has its pose, no other stock that is irrevocable, perpetual, and it's to keep, in castle or in shack, with rags or robes, through good, nothing, or ill, and even in death, a body like no other, or any hill, or plain, or crawling cot, or gentle for the lilyless hasty paw. Having twisted, gagged, and then sweet ceased to bother, shows the old personal art, the look, shows what it showed at baseball, what it showed in school. My dreams, my works, must wait till after hell. I hold my honey, and I store my bread in little jars and cabinets of my will. I label clearly in each latch and lid, I bid, be firm till I return from hell. I am very hungry, I am incomplete, and none can tell when I may dine again. No man can give me any word but wait, the puny light. I keep eyes pointed in, hoping that the devil days of my hurt drag out their last dregs, and I resume on such legs as are left in me, and such heart as I can manage, remember to go home. My taste will not have turned insensitive to honey and bread old purity could love. Looking. You have no word for soldiers to enjoy the feel of as an apple and to chew with masculine satisfaction. Not goodbye, come back, or careful. Look and let him go. Goodbye is brutal, and come back the raw insistence of an idle desperation, since could he favor, he would favor now. He will be careful if he has permission. Looking is better. At the dissolution, grab greatly with the eye, crush in a steel of study. Even that is vain. Expression, the touch or look or word will little avail. The brawniest will not beat back the storm, nor the heaviest haul your little boy from harm. Piano after war. On a snug evening, I shall watch her fingers, cleverly ringed, declining to clever pink, beg glory from the willing keys. Old hungers will break their coffins, rise to eat and thank, and music warily, like the golden rose that sometimes after sunset warms the west, will warm that room, persuasively suffuse that room in me, rejuvenate a past. But suddenly across my climbing fever of proud delight, a multiplying cry, a cry of bitter dead men who will never attend a gentle maker of musical joy. Then my thawed eye will go again to ice, and stone will shove the softness from my face. Mentors. For I am rightful fellow of their band. My best allegiances are to the dead. I swear to keep the dead upon my mind, disdain for all time to be overglad. Among spring flowers, under summer trees, by chilling autumn waters in the frosts of supercilious winter, all my days I'll have as mentors those reproving ghosts, and at that cry, at their remotest whisper, I'll stop my casual business, leave the banquet, or leave the hall, reluctant to unclapse her, who may be fragrant as flowers she wears, as the flowers she wears. Make gallant bows and dim excuses, then quit light for the midnight that is mine and theirs. The white troops had their orders, but the Negroes looked like men. They had supposed their formula was fixed. They had obeyed instructions to devise a type of cold, a type of hooded gaze. But not when the Negroes came, they were perplexed. But when the Negroes came, I can't read tonight. These Negroes look like men. Besides, it taxed time and a temper to remember those congenital iniquities, that caused disfavor of the darkness, such as boxed their feelings properly, complete to tags, a box for dark men and a box for other, would often find the contents had been scrambled or even switched, who really gave two figs. Neither the earth nor the heaven ever trembled, and there was nothing startling in the weather. Firstly inclined to take what is told. The scaruscant, the sweet, the crystalline, with the full jewel while of my delight, with the narcotic milk of peace for men, who find thy beautiful center and relate, thy round command, thy grand, thy mystic good, like the classic quality of a star, a little way from warmth, a little sad, delicately lovely to adore. I have been brightly ready to believe, for youth is a frail thing, not unafraid. First inclined to take what is told, firstly inclined to lean, greedy to give, faith, tidy and total, to a total God, with billowing heartiness, no whit withheld. God works in a mysterious way, but often now the youthful eye cuts down its own dainty veiling, or submits to winds, and many an eye that all its age had drawn its beam from a book endures the impudence of modern glare that never heard of tact or timeliness or mystery that shrouds immortal joy. It merely can direct chancing feet across the dissembling clods. Out from thy shadows, from thy pleasant meadows, quickly in undiluted light, be glad, whose mansions are bright, to right thy children's heir. If thou be more than hate or atmosphere, step forth in splendor, mortify our wolves, or we assume a sovereignty ourselves. Love note. I, Shirley. Surely you stay, my certain own, you stay, my you, all honest, lofty as a cloud. Surely I could come now and find you high as mine as you ever were. Should not be odd. Surely your word would pop as insolent as always. Why, of course I love you, dear. Your gaze, surely ungauzed as I could want. Your touches that never were careful, what they were. Surely I am very often. From surely, from indeed, from the decent arrow that was my clean naivete and my faith. This morning men deliver wounds and death. They will deliver wounds and death tomorrow, and I doubt all, you or a violet. Love note, flags. Still, it is a dear defiance now to carry fair flags of you above my indignation, top with a pretty glory and a merry softness, the scattered pound of my cold passion. I pull you down my foxhole. Do you mind? You burn in bits of saucy color then. I let you flutter out against the pane volleys, against my power crumbled and wane. You and the yellow pert expertness of dandelion days, unmocking sun. The blowing of clear wind in your gay hair. Love changeful in you, like a music, or like a sweet mournfulness, or like a dance, like a tender struggle of a fan. The progress. And we still wear our uniforms, follow the cracked cry of the bugles, comb and brush our pride and prejudice, doctor the sallow, initial ardor, wish to keep it fresh. Still we applaud the president's voice and face. Still we remark on patriotism, sing, salute the flag, thrill heavily, rejoice for death of men who too saluted, sang. But inward grows a soberness, an awe, a fear, a deepening a hollow through the cold. For even if we come out standing up, how shall we smile, congratulate, and how settle in chairs? Listen, listen, to step on iron feet again, and again wild. So that was Gay Chaps at a Bar, or that B-Bar. Let's see. So that was from A Street in Bronzeville. Those were from that book in particular. These are from Gwendolyn Brooks' book, Annie Howland. Notes from the childhood and the girlhood. This will be the last one that I read. The parents, people like our marriage, Maxie and Andrew. Clogged and soft and sloppy eyes have lost the light that bites or terrifies. There are no swans and swallows anymore. The people settled for chicken and shut the door. But one by one, they got things done. Watch for porches as you pass, and primrose fencing pinching in the grass. Pleasant custard sit behind, the white venti and blind. Sunday chicken. Chicken, she chided early, should not wait under the cranberries and after sermon state, who had been breaking about the yard of late. Elite among the speckled gray, wild white, or blundering mosaic in the night, or lovely baffle brown, it was not right. You could not hate the cannibal they wrote of with the nostril bone thrust, who could dote on boiled or roasted fellow thigh and throat. Excuse me. Nor hate the handsome tiger, call him devil, to man feast, manifesting Sunday evil. Old relative. After the baths and bowel work, he was dead. Pillows no longer mattered, and getting fed, and anything that anybody said. Whatever was his, he never more strictly had, lying in long hesitation, good or bad, hypothesis, traditional, and bad. She went in there to muse on being rid of relative beneath the coffin lid. No one was by. She stuck her tongue out, slid. Since for a week she must not play Charmaine or Honey Bunch or Singing in the Rain. A little anecdote, because this reminded me. I actually had a friend named Charmaine who passed away. Oh gosh, maybe a year and a half ago, I think now. Gosh, I haven't thought about that in a while. Anyway, that just reminded me of that, and it's funny because I've been thinking about her lately. But I don't know if you all believe in what my mom calls God winks, where it's, you know, like perhaps like your deceased relatives like giving you a little like, hey, I'm here, you know, I'm watching over you kind of sign. But I like to think that that was one. Anyway, enough about me. This ain't about me. The Ballad of Late Annie. Late Annie in her bower lay, though sun was up and spinning. The blush-bound brown shoulder was so bare, blush-brown lip was winning. Out then shrieked the mother dear, be I to fetch and carry? Get a broom to wish the doors, or get a man to marry? Men there were and men there be, but never men so many, chief enough to marry me, thought the proud late Annie. Whom I raised my shades before, must be just in the core, with melted opals for my milk, pearl leaf for my cracker. Throwing out the flowers. The duck fat's brought in the roasting pan, and it's over and over and all. The fine fraught smiles and spites that began before it was over and all. The Thanksgiving prayings away with the silk. It's over and over and all. The broccoli, yams, and the beef buttermilk are dead with the hail in the haw. All are dead with the hail in the haw. The 3 yellow mums and the 1 white mum bear to such burlesque burial with pity for little Iconium, since it's over and over and all. Forgotten and stinking, they stick in the can, in the vase breaths better and all, and all. And so far the end of our life to a man, just over and all. Do not be afraid of no. Do not be afraid of no, who has so far, so very far to go. New caution to occur, to one whose inner scream set her to seed, for softer lapping and smooth fur, whose esoteric need was merely to avoid the nettle, to not bleed, stupid like a street that beats into a dead end and dies there, with nothing left to reprimand or meet, and like a candle fixed against dismay and court shine of mixed, white moon and sun, and like a flying furniture, or bird with latest wing, or gaunt thing, I stammered down a nightmare neon peopled with condor, hawk, and shrike. To say yes is to die, a lot or a little. The dead, where capably their wry. In emblems they smell, but that and that they do not altogether yell is all that we know well. It is brave to be involved, to be not fearful, to be unresolved. Her new wish was to smile when answers took no airships walked while. Pygamies are pygamy still, though perched on Alps, Edward Young. But we can see better there and laughing there, pity the giants wallowing on the plain, giants who bleat and chafe in their small grass, seldom to spread the palm, to spit, come clean. Pygamies expand in cold, impossible air, cry file on giant shine, poor glory which pounds breastbone punily, screeches, and has reached no Alps, or knows no Alps to reach. Was that it? for that particular chapter. Let me look, make sure I'm not crazy. Let's see. Oh, I think that's it for notes from the childhood and the girlhood. I liked those. Let's see. I liked all of them, but I especially liked those. Yeah, I think that's it for that chapter. Let's see here. All right. So that's all I'm gonna read for tonight. I might come back, read a few more later this month. Or maybe I'll read something else to you guys. Who knows? The last time I read something to you guys was Halloween of 2022 or 2021, or October of 2022 or 2021. So it's been a minute. But I was thinking about coming back to this channel and just, you know, picking it back up again, because the whole point of me posting anything at all was because I wanted to do ASMR and maybe provide that relaxation and comfort that ASMR brings to me. Of course, I don't have a fancy camera or microphone and all that. But you know, they say, you know, you start out with like the basic stuff and then you move your way up, is based on, I suppose, how your channel grows and develops. That's a Markiplier advice tidbit. But anyway, but all that being said, I figured what better time to make a comeback than during Black History Month, when I happen to be taking an African American lit class, and I have a bunch of rental books that I got from my school bookstore by some incredible Black authors. So far this semester in my class, we have read The Marrow of Tradition, which was amazing. It's very sad, but it was amazing. And we just finished reading Passing, which is very good. I highly recommend both of those books. I will say, trigger warning for The Marrow of Tradition. There's some like really touchy subjects in there. When I say, I mean, like, you know, there's like murder and some derogatory terms and things like that. So just, you know, be mindful of that if that's, you know, a sensitive thing for you. Passing, I highly recommend. I was enthralled with that book. If you don't feel like reading it, there's also a Netflix movie that was made based off of it. I haven't watched it, but I want to, because I loved the book. So, but anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for watching and for listening to me I find that reading out loud motivates me to read more, particularly when I have required readings for classes. So I'm gonna go finish. This was for my African American lit class, and I now have to go finish The Age of Innocence for my American Women Writers class. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see, like ASMR wise, if you want me to do like a POV or something like that. You know, suggestions are welcome. Or if there's a book or excerpt or anything like that you want me to read, please let me know. I'd be happy to look into it and choose. I'm gonna finish The Age of Innocence and come back maybe with my next novel for my American Women Writers. Let's see. if I'm not mistaken, I believe March is women's. Is it Women's History Month? I forget. I feel like I'm wrong, but I'll look. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's women's, because I remember when with my senior year of high school, which was like back in 2020, 2021, I remember making actually a TikTok for Women's History Month. Women in history? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop going off on tangents and let you guys go. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, let me know if you want me to read something else. Let me know if you have any ideas. Suggestions are welcome. I hope you're having a great evening. I hope you're having a great week. Remember, as always, you're loved. Everything is gonna be okay, and that's about it. Okay,